There might be some political theater that's going to play out between now and next week. So I wouldn't give my Republican colleagues too much credit if they raise concerns today. That might all be pre-scripted.
Democratic Senator Chris Murphy saying his 4 conservative colleagues who oppose the current draft will likely come around, but its passage is still not assured. So which side has the votes? With me now, former Republican presidential candidate and Senator Rick Santorum, Indiana Democratic Congressman Andre Carson, Ruben Gallego, Democratic Congressman from Arizona, and Amanda Carpenter, former communications director for Ted Cruz. And I will start with you because I covered you in many legislative battle. What do you think? Is Chris Murphy right? Is this a...
I hope he's right. You know, there really isn't any reason for those 4 conservative Republicans not to figure out a way to get to yes. I mean, there's certainly enough in this bill. Just the changes in Medicare, getting rid of these taxes. I mean, the block grant of Medicare is the Medicaid, excuse me, is the same huge change that we saw in 1996 with the block grant of welfare. And by the way, the block grant of welfare has worked tremendously well. And it's core Republican doctrine. Yeah, did we get everything we wanted? No, but we certainly have enough, and there's enough reforms, and there's enough tax reductions, there's enough transferring control of the healthcare system out of Washington for conservatives to vote.
Is McConnell going to get the votes?
I don't think he would have brought this forward if he didn't think he could get the votes. I think they're pretty. Look. They're going to lose Heller. They'll probably lose another moderate that they feel they have to lose just for their own election purposes. But I think they'll hold 50. And
that seems to be the way this is heading, Amanda. And you did work for Senator Cruz, so I'm going to ask you to take us inside his brain right now and where you think he might be. They are headed, it looks like, towards trying to get the conservatives on board because it looks like the moderates in the caucus are probably not gettable. The question is whether or not they can avoid losing 3. But on Ted Cruz, do you think the signs are there for him to come on board?
Yeah, I think he can get there, but I think everyone has a sticker price problem when it comes to Obamacare. Listen, let's say this passes. President Trump signs it in the Oval Office in August. All these rates are going to increase in October. There's not enough time for this legislation to take effect to lower premiums and deductibles unless they get a really clear win out of this to provide relief for people on the individual market who have been hammered with these really, really high increases. If Ted Cruz can get something like that out of it, so he can go home to constituents and say, because of this, your premiums are going down, sure, he can get there. But right now, that does not exist in this repeal bill, which is not a repeal because it does keep all the Medicaid expansions and all the subsidies.
Congressman, from the Democratic side, you know, she has a point that there are some problems with Obamacare. I know that you all say you want to fix it and not repeal it. But when you look at the Senate bill...
It's not leaner, it's meaner. I mean, millions of Americans will lose coverage. Deductibles will go up. Co-pays will go up. If my Republican buddies were smart, they would take this off the table and do the work that needs to be done and invest in the economy, talk about education, talk about infrastructure, things that the American people are concerned about. They're putting their caucus in jeopardy for 2018.
And the president actually used the word mean on camera today. Did he hand you a political gift by saying so?
Well, absolutely. And I've worked on Medicaid expansion at the state legislature in Arizona. And that helped us get many people off the street and into treatment programs that are really important, especially if you believe in opioid treatment. Number 2, there's a lot of people that depend on Medicaid expansion for nursing care, a population that also votes and their family members that votes. This type of cap that will happen over time, they will stop Medicaid expansion over time and then also cut the amount that is contributed to and sticking it to only consumer price index will end up kicking off thousands and thousands of people every year off Medicaid. And that is going to be mean-spirited by any definition.
I want to go back, Senator, to